Would you ever trade an iPhone 12 for a Snickers bar? Of course you wouldn't. None of us would ever make that trade. But today I want to tell you a story about two brothers who make a really ridiculous trade. And this story is found in Genesis 25. And so we have these two brothers named Jacob and Esau. And Esau, he's the older brother. I imagine him as like the athlete of the family. He's the one that's always out hunting. He's doing his thing out there in the wilderness. And I kind of imagine him as like just jacked out of his mind. Like he probably looks something like Jesse Golnick does here on this shirt of mine. But on the other hand, Jacob's the younger brother. He likes to stay at home, he likes to cook, and he likes to clean. And so the two brothers, they're very different people. But they make this trade that's really, really crazy. And so what happens is Esau, he's out hunting, he's really tired, and he comes home from hunting, and he's being so dramatic. And he says, if I don't eat something right now, I am going to die. And so he looks at his brother Jacob, who had been making a stew, and he says, Jacob, can I have some of your stew? And Jacob, being the smart, witty brother that he is, he says, of course, brother Esau, you can have some of my stew, but all you have to do is just give me your birthright. And just to pause really quick to kind of explain what Jacob is asking for, what a birthright was back in these times, the oldest of the brothers would get twice the amount of the inheritance when the father passes away. And what that means is he would get twice the amount of money, twice the amount of land, twice the amount of cattle, twice the amount of cars, all of his father's things. Esau would get twice the amount simply because he was the older brother. And so Jacob is asking for all of that. And Esau, as he's kind of thinking through this deal, which to us is like, no, dude, bad idea. But as Esau's thinking through this thing, he says, well, if I'm dead because I starved to death, that inheritance, it won't do anything for me. So just give me the stew. You can have the birthright because I want what I want right now. And so they make this trade. And as I read that story, it's easy for us to look at Esau and say, man, this dude is absolutely outside of his mind. Why would he ever do that? But oftentimes I think that we are so similar to Esau because when we want something, we'll take it even if we know it's not the best thing for us. Because what we'll do is we'll sacrifice our deep and intimate relationship with God to go after things that are going to hurt our relationship with God. Things like partying and drinking and doing drugs and crossing lines that we know we shouldn't be crossing and gossiping and all these different things that we know are wrong, but it's easy for us to do that in the moment. And so what my challenge for you is very simply to not be like Esau. That when there's something that is in front of us that might look good, that might look attractive, might look like we could do it, to not do it if you know that that thing is going to hurt your relationship with God. So very simply, for us to lean on the Holy Spirit when temptation comes and to not be like Esau.